Welcome to Wichita's Littlest Heroes volunteer training. I'm going to go over a little bit about how to use your impact page and then where to find the volunteer handbook, and we will go over the volunteer handbook. At the end, there will be a few questions to answer. Once you have answered the questions, you will be able to be moved from prospect to accepted as soon as I complete your background check. Please keep in mind I do need a copy of a TB skin test and a flu shot on file within 30 days of being accepted as a volunteer with Wichita's Littlest Heroes. At the top here, you'll see opportunities, schedule, hours, and contact. If you click on contact at any time, if you have a question, you can fill this out and send it, and it will send me the message, and I will answer it usually within 24 hours. If you click on hours, you can add your hours manually for things you do at home or off-site if you are not actually at an event or at the office, where you can clock in and out. Once you enter your hours, it will be sent to me to approve, and then they will show up on your time log. If you click on schedule, it will show you anything that you have scheduled yourself to volunteer for. Over here under opportunities, if you go down to the opportunity list, it shows you all volunteer opportunities that you are available to volunteer for based on the qualifications that you checked when you filled out your application. So down here it shows you right now you're in the becoming a volunteer section with going through today's orientation, your medical paperwork, which is your flu shot and your TB test, and your background check, which I will submit as soon as you have completed this video. Down here are other different types of activities such as events. We do have committees for financial or for fundraising and for events. On the home tab, if you go down to the bottom, there is a section that says files. If you click on go to files and click here on volunteer handbook and open it, we will go through the volunteer handbook and you will answer a few questions, and that will be it. So we are going to start with a quick thing. First things first, the rules. Wichita's Littlest Heroes is a no smoking facility. We ask that you smoke outside of the back door while at the office and outside of non-entrance doors at events. You must sign in and out upon arriving and prior to volunteering and when you're done. Unless we approve it, volunteers must be 17 years old. We ask that you not arrive more than 10 minutes before your scheduled volunteer time so that we're ready to check you in and give you your assignments. Background checks are conducted on all new volunteers. Background checks are $15. It says $21.50 here, but we were able to get that down. We ask that if you can cover the costs, please do, so that we can use our funds to go more towards our heroes and our families. We would love to include everyone who wishes to volunteer in an event, but volunteer spots are first come, first serve. And sometimes we have people who are more qualified for an event than others, and we have to pick and choose wisely so that we're making sure that we are taking care of our heroes' needs as adequately as possible. If you are waitlisted or unable to volunteer for an event, please understand it is not a reflection on you, but rather on the needs of the program. We ask that when you're volunteering that you please do not bring other family members with you unless it is a fundraising event or any other event sponsored by us that's open to the public. We do reserve the right to dismiss a guest if their behavior puts themselves or any other volunteer, staff, or any of our heroes or families in jeopardy. If anything happens during an event that would fall under that category, I would assess the situation, or our lead volunteer in charge would review the behavior and determine what needs to be done. We do recognize your right to carry a weapon. We simply ask that only volunteers who have a permit to conceal carry have a weapon at any volunteer activities. But we do ask that you keep it concealed at all times. Welcome to Wichita's Littlest Heroes. We are a nonprofit that serves almost 500 families of children with life-threatening medical conditions. You can read over the mission statement and the history. Our confidentiality policy, we do have a strict guideline that everything that you learn through volunteering about any family, their diagnosis, special needs, sensitive information, or you learn about another volunteer or a parent or staff, remain confidential. It is extremely important that volunteers and staff respect the individual circumstances of those involved with the program. Please do not take any personal information beyond the Wichita's Littlest Heroes. We ask that while you're volunteering, you conduct yourself in an appropriate manner. Any form of harassment, aggression, or abusive behavior towards yourself, other people, or heroes will result in immediate action. If you see somebody who is acting inappropriately, please do not approach them yourself. Please notify myself, the lead volunteer, or any office staff to take care of it. Ultimately, it is my job to be responsible for each hero, family, and volunteer. Any directions that you get should come from myself or a lead volunteer or Wichita's Littlest Heroes staff. We understand that you come to the program with a wide range of knowledge and experience. However, it is very important that you only do as we ask because we know these methods work for our families. There may be times that you are asked to lift greater than 50 pounds. Please inform us if you cannot. We do not want you to get hurt. Wear comfortable clothing, but please remember this is a professional atmosphere. No holes, tears, inappropriate sayings. Just use good judgment. If you sign up for a volunteer time, please notify us within at least 24 hours ahead of time so that we can find another volunteer. We do ask that if you can find somebody to replace yourself, please do that first. Usually as we're getting ready for events, we are very busy and having to stop and find somebody to replace you is very difficult. Prior to volunteering, you will sign a liability release. The liability release basically states that if something happens on our property and it's our fault because of our neglect, like we knew there was a hole in the concrete and never fixed it, then we'd be liable. But otherwise, we are not liable should you get injured or harmed at an event or while volunteering. Our office parking is very limited. We ask that you please park on First Street or on Mathewson Avenue. We do need you to sign in and out of all volunteer activities so that we can keep track of hours. If there was an emergency at any event, the volunteer coordinator, lead volunteer, or Wichita's Littlest Heroes staff is responsible for incident management. We will assess the situation and apply first aid if needed. If further assistance is needed, we will ask somebody to call 911. If you are at the office, the first aid kit is located in the kitchen, in the top cabinet next to the refrigerator. You will also find all pertinent information, location, phone numbers, everything that EMS would need. In the event that severe weather occurs, Wichita's Littlest Heroes will close all volunteer activities if USD 259 closes. In the event of a power outage, we will also cancel all volunteer activities. If a fire should occur in the building, we ask that all participants go out the back door through the garage or out the front door, depending on where the fire is located, and meet across Mathewson on the sidewalk. We do have lead volunteers. We have 15 lead spots per year. It's leadership, education, and development, where we work with you to be able to lead your own activities and events. It does require a special training class, and we do monitor you throughout the year. An example of some of our opportunities: office worker, event staff, groups and classes. We do hospital visitors. Occasionally we need handyman and delivery people, but I'll allow you to read through that. This next section is just a glossary of some physical and cognitive difficulties that you might come across in this group. They are not by means anywhere close to the number of different disabilities we have in our group, but it just gives you a little bit of an understanding. And lastly, other ways that you can help Wichita's Littlest Heroes. Any donation is appreciated. If you cannot make a donation, we also sell sponsor t-shirts once a year. And we do have an Amazon Smile and Dylan's Plus card. You can have Wichita's Littlest Heroes as your selected charity, and they will give a portion back to us. So that is the end of the training manual, or the volunteer handbook. If you have any questions at any time through all of this, please do not hesitate to contact me. You have that contact up top, or you can call the office at 316-364-3354. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. Thank you for your interest in volunteering. We cannot do this without you. We are only as good as our volunteers, and you guys make us fantastic.